here. We still were both on mute. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. What's going on, everybody? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and
What's Jamar for?
we're bringing you a brand new episode of the Prelude. Y'all, listen, okay? Listen. This has been a rough start. Not necessarily a rough start, but we tired. You know what I'm saying? But we got a great guest here tonight, though. I just want to let y'all know that y'all already know how I feel about this person. She's a fellow YouTuber, but not only is she a fellow YouTuber, she's a best-selling author. And now she got a movie out, and I think she got a second movie coming out. Y'all know she's one of my favorite YouTubers. She goes by the YouTube name Color Me Pink, but of course, professionally is Keisha Urban, okay? Straight from St. Louis herself. Yes, she is, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
How are you,
What's
my
going on?
love?
I am blessed and highly favored. How are you fine young gentlemen doing?
Oh, she said
I'm good.
fine. We
Oh,
good.
look, speak the truth. Shit, don't be afraid of it now.
Uh-uh.
Well, first of all, Keisha, welcome to the show. You know, I am very excited about this because
Thank you for having me.
people been waiting on us to do something together for a long time. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But I felt like how good would it be to have her up here to talk about something like her film and her journey as an author and stuff like that? Because I got questions myself because I'm a
Okay.
person that is an aspiring author myself. So
Mm-hmm.
you should be able to give me some pointers or something like that for
Yes.
someone that wants to break into this type of thing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, being that so you're from St. Louis, right? Is that where you were born and raised and stuff?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so what exactly got you into writing? Like, has that always been like a first love of yours or something like that? Like, let's get into that. How did you get into writing?
Actually, no, it wasn't a first love for me. When I grew up, I thought I was going to be in a part of like a girl group. I wanted to be a designer. I wanted to be a pediatrician. I wanted to be a lawyer. I remember I was a little girl sitting next to my bed, my mother's bed one day, and I told her I wanted to be an author. And then, like I said, that went out the window. But I was always really good with creative writing and writing. I won a lot of awards growing up, but I never really thought that this would ever be my profession. It wasn't until I was 20 and I started back reading again because I had went a few years without reading, but I've always been an avid reader my whole life. But I went a few years without reading, and when I was 20, I saw an ad in Double XL magazine for Terry Wood's book True to the Game.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on Amazon, I ordered it, and it came. And I remember sitting in my bed and I read it in like 4 or 5 hours. And it just blew my mind away because at that time, only like urban fiction books we had was Coldest Winter Ever, Fly Girl, or whatever. So I was like, okay, somebody else out here is writing something that mimics my life. And then I just heard of all these other urban books that had came out around that time, and I was just reading, and I was like, I could do this. And so I started writing my first book, and I didn't tell anybody what I was doing except for one girlfriend of mine at the time. I had told her that I was writing a book, and I read her like the first few paragraphs of chapter one. And she was like, "Girl, you need to put that up," like, and laughed. And it hurt my feelings. And like she was like a best friend of mine. Like we grew up together and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt my feelings, whatever. And I was like, damn. And I just thank God that I had a stronger mindset than to allow her words to affect me and actually believe in what she said. Because what if I would have believed her and I was just like, man, she right. I need to just stop. But I didn't stop. I actually finished the book. It took me about 2 years to write it because I went through a slump where I didn't really know what I wanted, where I wanted the story to go. And then when I was 22 years old, I finished the book, and it was in October of 2003. And I told my mom, because I was still living with my mother at the time. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I wrote a book. And she was like, "Girl, get out of here." I was like, "No, for real. I wrote a book." I was like, "That's what I'll be downstairs in the basement doing on the computer at night." She was like, "Girl, I thought you were just down there listening to music, playing solitaire or some stuff."
Not
I
solitaire.
actually wrote a book. And I was like, it's this company by the name of Triple Crown Publications. They accept submissions. I was like, I'm going to send them the first 4 chapters and the synopsis and the cover letter and see what happens. She was like, okay, go ahead, hope it work out. Like, she didn't think nothing of it for real. I didn't really think nothing of it for real. I didn't think I would hear back. Literally 2 months later, I was at work. I worked at a grocery store here in St. Louis called Shop and Save, and I was a cashier. And I was on the line. It was December 14th. It was nighttime, and it was just began to snow outside. I'll never forget the day. And my manager Ray came to my lane, and he was like, "Your mom's on the phone, and she's really panicking or whatever. She sounds upset." And I got scared because Kyrese at the time was probably about 3 or 4. So I thought something was going wrong with my baby or something like that. He was like, "I'll take over your line, going to the customer service desk, see what your mom wants." So I went to the phone, and I was like, "Ma'am," and she was like, "Keisha." I was like, "Ma'am." She was like, "Triple Crown Publications just offered you a 2-book deal." And I was like, "Stop lying." And she was like, "I swear to God." And I didn't even think about the fact, "Heifer, why are you opening up my mail?" But I was like, "Oh my gosh." She was like, "Yeah, they're offering you a 2-book deal with a $5,000 advance," which was, of course, huge to me at the time because I was
Yeah.
22. I had never seen that type of money before. And I was like, "Oh my God." And I just remember holding the phone to my ear and looking out the doors and just looking at the snow falling down. I was like, my life is going to change today. And it honestly did. 6 months later, my first novel, Me and My Boyfriend, was released, and it debuted at number 8 on Essence Magazine's bestseller list. And it just went on from there. Yep.
Oh wow, that's go ahead, Jamar. You want to pick up off of that? Go ahead, Jamar.
It's evident that you know how to tell a story, and I'm gonna go ahead and just travel on into your film. So, how did you sort of make the transition, or what does that transition look like to? Because there's a lot of people who can write, stories on page, but then like you went to the visual aspect and cast it for an entire film. So, how did you go to that transition?
Well, film is something that I've been working on, honestly, you guys, for like the last almost like 10 years. I've had so many ups and downs behind the scenes. I had an opportunity to work with Power. I had got reached out to write a book series based off the Power, television series. That didn't go through. Then I had something going on with the FYI network. That didn't go through. Angie Martinez came to me wanting me to be on a reality show that they were going to do, where they were going to put all these influencers in a house in New York, and we had to compete to get a spot on an iHeartRadio show. That didn't go through. It was just so much stuff that didn't go through. And so about maybe 4 years ago, I was just like, fuck it. I don't even care no more. I'm just going to focus on my publishing company and my YouTube channel and grow those 2 things, because I had at that point transitioned over to being a self-published author instead of being signed to a publishing company. And I was like, I'm just going to put all my energy into that and just focus on that. And a year ago, my literary agent, Brenda Hampton, came to me and she was like, I got offered a movie deal. And of course, I wasn't not going to mention you. So she mentioned me, and they were like, "Oh my God, of course. Like, we would love to work with her." And the production company is Homestead Entertainment. And so they reached out to me and they was like, "Do you want to do a movie with us?" And I was like, I did my research on the company or whatever. They've done a lot of independent films, a lot of films that you've seen like on BET and stuff like that. They did the movie Fall Girls that was on BET about 2 or 3 years ago with Marla Negra, Paris Phillips, Tammy
Okay.
Roman, all them. Yeah, they produced that film. And so I was like, okay, they got some good caliber work or whatever. So I was like, all right, let's do it. But I was nervous though, because I was like, I don't know how this gonna work. Or we gonna mesh? So I was like, I'm gonna give them Paper Heart. Paper Heart was a book of mine that did well, but it wasn't like one of my biggest bestsellers. So I was like, I'm just gonna give them something I really don't give a fuck about, to be honest with you. Like, in case this shit don't come out right, I don't even care. It ain't one of my best ones. I won't promote this shit. I do. Because I was like, you know how a lot of black films look. Let's just be honest. They be looking kind of ghetto and just low budget. And I was like, if it don't come out the way I want it to look, you won't hear about this goddamn film. So thank God it did. But literally, we sat down, we negotiated the contract, signed the contract in November of 2020, and I announced it a minute later on my channel. And then after that process, it kind of went dead for about 4 or 5 months because they was working on another film. And so around springtime 2021 is when we started actually working on Paper Heart. We started with casting right off the rip. When they were like, who you want to play Knight? I said Don from Black Ink Crew. I automatically knew I wanted him. He was my only pick. And so they reached out and we got him literally within a week. We got him, and after that, it was just smooth sailing. We casted everybody else. We went through the casting process first, then on their end, because everything was filmed in Detroit. We didn't get to film here in St. Louis, so they had somebody going scout locations and everything. And I'm big on fashion and stuff like that. And y'all know what we do for a living. We review television shows and movies and reality shows. So I'd be damned if I was gonna put a movie out and people looking raggedy and busted and they weaves and wigs. I was like, they're not gonna come for me. No,
Baby,
man.
Exactly.
So
what's the
honestly,
Scotland's lace was laid, baby. Every seed.
yes,
It really
ma'am. I
was.
made sure it was. So they had, honestly, you guys, they had never before Paper Heart paid for styling and clothes. Never. They had up until then the actors and stuff bring their own stuff. And I was like, ew, the ghetto. No, we're not doing that. So I was like, I'll fund it myself. I was like, I'll spend the money and fund all of the main characters' outfits because I was like, it has to look a certain way, especially like with Lena's character. She's supposed to be spoiled, rich girl, socialite. She just can't be wearing no anything. So
Right.
I ended up spending maybe about $1,600 on the wardrobe. Scotland's character alone had about 20 something pieces, linen 10. I didn't get to style Don because at that time he was filming for Black Ink Crew and he was doing his first bodybuilding competition. So his body weight was fluctuating and we never could get him in. So the majority of the stuff he wore came out of his closet, and then they picked out some suit jackets to fit him because he was so goddamn big. Nigga looked like Hercules and shit in real life. So I styled Scotland and Linen, and then the production company paid me back or whatever. But I found a hairstylist in Detroit to do Scotland's wigs. Linen, that was her hair, Robin's real hair or whatever. So she pretty much blew her hair out and whatever. We had several makeup artists on set doing their makeup and everything. And we did rehearsals. They flew Don and whoever else that was out of town in to do rehearsals. We did Zoom commercials all throughout the summer. That was what was going on. And that's why when you was reaching out to me, I was like, I was so busy last year. It was just
Right.
insane. So the whole summer we did rehearsals and everything, and then we actually began filming. It was the second week of September. And so we filmed for about a week and a half. The last day of filming was September 20th. It was actually the day of my lumpectomy breast reduction surgery because I had breast cancer or whatever. So literally, y'all, I'm so ghetto. I come out of surgery. I'm in the room recovering and everything. I was like, give me my phone. I'm still drugged up. I'm calling FaceTime. And I was like, let me see what's going on because I had to see what was going on. I said, like, girl, lay down somewhere and get some rest, child. But I just had to see what was going on. But it was such a dope experience. I was sad though because I didn't get to be on set with everybody because I was going through my breast cancer journey and everything. So I wasn't actually able to go on set and meet everybody in person. I still to this day have not met Don because I wasn't able to go to the Detroit premiere, and I haven't met Scotland in real life yet either. But everybody else I got to meet when they came here to the St. Louis premiere, and it was just truly a wonderful experience, and I'm so excited and elated to get started on part 2. So it's gonna be fun.
Well, before we get into his questions about the movie because he said he got a lot of them, as I told you before we came on. How was it? Like, like, okay, so you're about to turn this book into a movie, and you're about to pick people. It's like, I know for me as a person that's written stuff before, I have certain people in my brain that I could see doing this. So did you
Yeah.
just? Oh, did you just, when you was getting ready to pick the people to play the part, did you already have it like stamped in your brain at that moment as to who you wanted to
The,
get the roles?
yeah, the only two people that I knew off the top of my head that I wanted for sure was Don, like I said, and we got him. My initial person that I wanted to play Scotland was April Jones. That's who I wanted. We reached out
Oh,
to her, but when we reached out to her, that was when she was with Dr.
Hmm.
Dre. And some behind the scenes, he didn't want to do no movies, so that's why she didn't do it. So yeah, she was over there, with her boo thing. So he didn't want her to film. So that's why I couldn't get April. But she was my first choice to play Scotland. But how Kristen came about was the director Dennis Reed. He was like, I got this girl. I want you to check her out. She has already did a film called Chocolate Kisses. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. So one afternoon, I sat here, I turned it on, and I watched it. The movie was okay, but she stood out because she was
yeah,
just like the girl next door. She was so pretty, loved her dimples. But what really drew me to her was the scenes when she was with her girlfriends, and it didn't seem rehearsed. It felt like four girls just getting together, laughing and kikiing. It didn't seem like they were just reciting lines. And I was like, she's
right,
perfect. So we reached out to her, we got her, and then Robin Rose, who plays Lennon, she actually knew Dennis because she was a bartender and he used to come to her club or whatever. And he saw her one night and he was like, come to my office. I got something for you. So she came to the office. He FaceTimed me. Y'all know how I be looking on my channel. I have my scarf on or whatever. I'm sitting here. He was like, I want you to see this girl. And I was like, okay. And so he just turned the camera around and told her, go. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was like, go. And she literally started, rehearsing right in front of me, doing the scene or whatever. She did the car accident scene. And I was like, she's it. I was like, yep, that's my Lennon. And it just went from there.
okay. Well, Jamar, you can
Yep.
go ahead.
There are so many layers and things to talk about and dissect with a lot of these characters. I was because this was your right. It wasn't a collaborative effort between
No.
you and
Mm-mm,
your. This was
mm-mm.
all. Let me tell you, I had a lot of emotions watching this film. I had because Lynn in particular. Had I been Scotland, me and her would have fought at
Oh.
that because she said, "I'm gonna get a piece of what now?" I'm like, "Girl, aren't we the same? You black too, ain't you? Are you not?" And then as soon as she would have called her fiance over there, I was like, "Ooh, damn!
Yeah.
Ooh, damn!
Listen, I was
Damn!
saying that the whole movie.
Damn!"
I had my mama watching the movie, and she was like, "Oh."
uh-uh.
Oh my God!
My mama was watching the child, like,
Y'all, when we were in the theater for the premiere and Don comes on screen walking from the car, and if you paid attention, his pants was quite, tight up in that area.
We
All
saw
them
everything.
women was like, "Ooh, yeah!" I was cracking up. I was like, "Y'all so nasty."
Every
listen,
scene it was visible, I was
it's
very
sitting there.
attentive.
It's sitting there because I know when I was laying in my bed watching, I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, there was already, when they hunched in the bed, that was a highlight for me. The other highlight was when they first purchased the house and he kissed her and walked upstairs in them gray shorts. I remember that as
I did
well.
that for everybody. I did that for y'all. I did that for
Oh
y'all.
yes, God, you did that. Ooh, ooh. Mm, mm, mm.
But anyways, back to the actual characters and not just me being, hot in the pants. Um, this was a black movie that surprisingly I had to think about this before I say it, but I'm gonna say no, this is true. The only person who has any sort of dignity is that white woman. The only person in the film that it has any integrity about anything is that white wife. She is the only one that deserves anything from this movie.
Maggie, Miss Maggie, yes, Man,
She
Maggie
is
was the
the
only victim.
only one.
Honestly, you're very much right. You're the first person to ever say that. To acknowledge that.
This
Because
is
everybody
actually,
else was trash when you think
and
about it.
why am I
Especially
thinking like,
that Korean one. Oh my god. Oh god. Like
she got me feeling bad for a white woman in a black movie. How we get here?
exactly.
Because I'm like,
Okay.
Scotland was trash, Knight was trash. Her sister is garbage. Her
Yes,
sister is garbage.
yes, yes.
I'm just like, damn. It's just like,
The young lady
really?
who played her name is China, and Dennis was the one that told me about her. He was like, she should play Yaya, and I was like, well, she's Korean. How is that gonna work? But because in the book, her and Yaya and Scotland were actually in the same foster home with each other. But for movie purposes, we had to switch some things. So we just made it where her family, adopted Scotland into their family or whatever. And it makes sense because as you can see, Yaya was quite ghetto, and that's China is the same in real life. Like China was literally playing herself outside of being treacherous. But she was the perfect cast of playing Yaya. She killed it. And
Yes, she
all of the
did.
lines from her stuff was exactly what was written in the novel. I tried to stay as close to the novel as possible because a lot of times when people read a book and then it gets transferred over to film, they be like, it was nothing like the movie. The book. The book was way better.
Yeah.
Literally everything that was in the book was in the movie. And so I made my readers so happy with that.
Mm-hmm. Because
Yes.
I was just like, girl, ooh.
She definitely played that role because I hated her ass. Like, oh,
It just got worse. It was already bad, and it just got progressively worse. I was like, you
Yep.
don't believe in the bitch dreams. You don't want to let her have no man. You up there fucking her man at the same, and then you go out the fact that that's his brother. You are trash, madam.
Yeah. But we've
TRA.
had people like that in our lives where they'll say little sneaky, snarky shit and then come back with, girl, I love you. And then so you be kind of like, is this bitch? Do she really care? Because honestly, some of the stuff that Yaya was saying was true. Let's be
It
honest.
was, but then
it's the
you ain't have to
delivery.
say it
Yeah.
like
And then
that.
the shade that came behind it because it was jealousy there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, you got to be careful. Like that, she's become a meme. I don't know if y'all know this, but she's become a meme on
I
Facebook.
see it on Facebook.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
I, ooh. I mean,
Listen,
and then homegirl, I said she's babysitting these children, and here comes this white man, and I was like, "Ooh, wait, you said what? Okay, now not too much." But she called out that thing on her collar bus. Said, "Oh, so you just trash all around. Not only are you being racist, but you over there being cheating on
She,
your wife and doing all those other." I'm just
mhm.
like, "Oh, so you just have no redeeming qualities at all. Got it."
at all. Like,
Uh,
period.
No,
Like,
none.
period.
and just as the progressed and everybody just kind of had all these different relationships. I'm like, first of all, what's his Knight frustrated me as fine as he was. He made a lot of his problems his own for no reason, just for lying. Just made it worse for no reason. He was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna work late." No, before he even did that, the Lydia's dad came into the office like, "Can you, come to the Christmas party with your wife, and so we don't have to ask questions about the split?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll go." Why? Why would you do that?
He felt guilty. He felt
And
bad
I'm just like,
for
I'm thinking he just said, "I'm just not gonna go."
that would be
That's what
the
I would
logical thing, but
have. That would. And then there's no pressure for neither one of us. So, woo.
yeah, yeah. But you
And
got to remember,
so,
he felt guilty for cheating on her and leaving her because he didn't know that she was cheating on him.
Well,
At the time. So that's that.
I, I knew she was cheating when she didn't want to get fucked on that kitchen table. I said, "You cheat."
period.
Because, baby, if somebody that look like that go pull my ass up on this goddamn thing, bitch, and talk about Child.
But
I'm
if
just
you
gonna
pay
go.
attention, our reveal was happening in that car accident scene. Because why was she pulling up to their house? She was pulling up to the house to see Mr. Frazier. So that was the reveal right there, but it just went over everybody's head.
It
But
definitely
yeah,
went over mine because I never thought about that.
I
It
didn't
definitely
even
went over.
realize like where she was when she hit them.
yeah, she was in front of the because in the
Yeah,
book they lived in a high-rise condo, so you wouldn't have really put two and two together. But then in the movie we used that mansion or whatever, but we just made it work. But yes, that's where she was going to hook up with him during lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
didn't they just get through fucking? Like he just noticed the thing on her collar, and that was mere moments before
Yeah.
the accident.
Yeah,
Child.
but you got to remember, like he left first, and then she left in behind him for work. They couldn't leave at the same time because then that'll be too obvious. So
mm-hmm.
yeah,
And I'm like, okay, so she doing all of this. What was her end game? Like, because when she talked, like, okay, first let me ask you. Let me ask you. Wasn't her baby that white man baby?
that's why we did the had the ending. Yeah, as you
Because that's I
saw,
was like, that baby look a little melanated. Because I'm
yeah,
like, I thought she was telling the white man. I was like, okay, so she about to try to get all this child support from this black man while it actually being this white man's baby. But then I'm like, but wait,
The baby chocolate.
genetics are a thing.
she thought the baby was Mr. Frazier's, but she was wrong. That baby was Knight's. That's why, and it said 6 months later, she was like, "Let me call him." She's like, "We got something to talk about." So just think, Knight and Scotland, they're back together, starting fresh, thinking everything is great, and here this shit come.
This
How is that
thorn
going
in
to
my
play
side. This thorn.
out?
I'm
Yeah,
just look,
Because at first,
child.
I know when my mother was looking at it, I think my mama said, I still don't believe that's Night Baby. She probably was sleeping with somebody, with another black man. That probably ain't none of his baby.
it's his baby. It's
I
his
was hoping
baby.
it wasn't. I was hoping it wasn't. I was just like, oh my God, please.
Yep.
Just be some twist and turn. Because I just know this ain't none of his baby. I just know it's not. It's
And that
just,
was honestly, you guys, a last minute decision because there's no sequel to Paper Heart. For years, my readers have wanted me to follow up with them. I followed up with them briefly in one of my China Black books where you saw Knight has his own restaurant and he proposes to Scotland at the opening of his restaurant or whatever. So that's as far as I've ever gotten with their story. And we had already wrapped filming. Filming had been wrapped for about maybe 2 weeks. And I just had this idea. I was like, that needs to be his baby. And I called Dennis and I pitched him the idea of what you guys saw. He was like, that's fucking genius. That's fucking genius. We got to do it. So we called Robin in to come film real quick. We found a baby. And we got the cameraman to come. Nobody else knew. Nobody. So it was a shock to everybody when they saw the film because they didn't know that this extra scene was filmed. When we had Don do the voicemail, he thought that was just something for earlier on in the film. He didn't even know what he was filming that for. So it was a huge shock to everybody of us throwing that cliffhanger in at the end because we had decided we're going to do a part two. But yeah, part two will come from scratch. There's no book to base everything off of. So everybody are going to the film not knowing what's going to happen in part two.
oh, I can't.
Child. I know y'all better give that lady, that white woman, something good,
Maggie
something
is
good needs
gonna
to come
come
to that
back.
white
Maggie
woman.
is gonna come back. I loved it. Her real name is Denise. She's so pretty. And the little girl who played Busy is actually her daughter in real life.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this question is basically based off because I think if you remember it, I had sent you like all this stuff that was said on my timeline about Paper Heart. I like all of a sudden everybody was on my timeline on Facebook talking about it. I'm like, they know about this movie? Let me and then I was screenshotting it and I sent it straight to you to your IG. And then you was like, oh my God. So when I think you said, was it like the number one movie on Tubi or something like that,
Mhm.
most watched?
Yeah, he
How
debuted
did
at number
that
one.
feel? How did that feel? That's what I want to know. How did that feel for
To
it to
be
be number
honest
one?
with you, and this is not me being braggadocious or anything like that. I knew that that movie was going to do well. I knew that we had produced something that was really good. It was different, especially for Tubi. Let's be honest. So I knew it was something different. I knew that it had street elements, but it also had just, everyday regular life elements. It had, the rich, it had, regular everyday people. And so it was a hodgepodge of all these different things. So I knew that the film was going to do well. Did I know that it was going to debut at number one? No, I did not. So that was a shock to me. And the movie has been out for a month and about 2 weeks now, and we're still in the most popular list on Tubi. It has not fallen out this whole time. What I can tell you is we've made back the budget for the film, and now everything is just profit. So thank you, Jesus, on that. Yeah, like I'm just so happy. Like I was actually, what shocked me the most is how viral it went. I wasn't expecting that at all, because I knew I have a large following when it comes to my books. And then I was I don't really talk about my books on my channel for real, but I knew that people would support it. But I didn't expect for it just to go like that. Like, it's people, niggas in jail talking about it. Y'all, straight
Not the
up,
niggas in jail.
this week my maintenance man came to my house. We got a new maintenance man in the building, black guy. I needed him to come fix my faucet in the bathroom because it had gotten loose. I opened the door, black dude come walking in. He was like, "What's up, Keisha?" I said, "Hello." I said, "Who are you?" He was like, "We went to school together." I was like, "What's your name?" He was like, "My name Kevin. I went to school with you." And he was naming my friends. He was like, "We went to junior high together." He was like, "Congratulations on that movie." I'm like, Lord Jesus. Yes. Yes. I was like, wow. You never know. Never know.
Right. Okay.
That's a
Like I was
blessing.
just I like it because the movie is relatable. Because a
Yeah.
lot of us have gone through that type of stuff before. Like
Mhm.
I was in Scotland before,
Yeah.
so I
I was a
understand.
yaya before, but don't judge me. That was in my past.
Uh, I and then I think I was still thinking about this because I think I ventured off on a tangent. What I was trying to think, what was Lena's long term goal? What was her end goal? Like you was pushing to get
She's
this
gonna
marriage and
take
stuff
it.
done, but you still was gonna sleep with this white man. What are you doing, sis?
Well, her end game is that she wanted um Mr. Fraser to leave his wife, but he was never going to do it. He kept on telling her, if you read the book, like, he kept on telling her he was going to leave, he's going to leave, he's going to leave. So if he would have left his wife, she would have left Knight, but he was never going to do that. Remember in the fight scene, as soon as he got his ass whipped, what did he say? Call my wife. And she was like, "I know you fucking lying," and pushed him.
Right.
Like, bitch, are you fucking kidding
Exactly.
me? Like, the fuck. So at that point, she was stuck with having to lie and act like Knight was the baby, because you got to remember she comes from this very affluent family. They're rich, they're well known. It was going to be an embarrassment to her family if they found out the actual truth. She would have dealt with it if Mr. Fraser would have left his wife. She would have, at least been like, okay, he left his wife. We did this. We could be together now and have a family, but he wasn't willing to do that. So what are we gonna do? Mind you, they all work at the same company. It's just messy all over. So she was just gonna put it in like that baby was his. She can, well, it actually ended up being his though. But yeah.
I can't wait to see that. That's all I gotta say on
Mhm. Yeah, it's gonna be a
Uh,
mess.
I
It's gonna be a
I
mess.
did relate to the moment when they was fucking. Okay, don't judge me. When they was fucking and she doing all this and he's just like
Yes, yes, yes.
just
Like,
un
if you don't get
just
the hell
un
off me, yeah, yeah. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
that. Me
Mm.
too.
oh I was like, oh, I have been there. It is not fun. It is, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's either there
No.
or it's not.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Or it's not.
Like she just so over dramatic and like, oh Lord. Yeah, he played that exactly how I wrote it in the book.
Oh yes,
But
that's good.
as much as we root for them, there were just a lot of times I'm just like, y'all are just causing so much problem for yourselves unnecessarily.
Yeah.
When
I mean,
you
e- everybody romanticized what happened between Scotland and Knight, but when you really look at it, they both were dead ass wrong for what they did. He should have
Yeah,
left Lennon before he started seeing her. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Another Portia and
So,
Simon. Yeah,
oh Jesus.
I don't know nothing
another Portia and Simon. Yes,
Very much
about what
Portia and
that
Simon.
is.
Very
very
much
much.
Portia and Simon. Except for she didn't know Lennon, but yeah, still it was trash. Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing though. Like I'm watching this movie, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be rooting for them.
No, you're not. But that's the testament of a good writer to be able to make you root for cheap motherfuckers like the hell.
But I guess,
Uh-uh.
but we justify it because, like, well, her man ain't shit. I
Yeah.
mean, his woman ain't
Ain't
shit.
shit. Yep.
So it's like, why not?
And what y'all think of murder?
Oh,
I was, I'm from Detroit, and I said I've seen way too many murders in my life.
I've dealt with
I know
a lot of
murder way
murders
too much.
in my 20s. That's all I ever dealt with murders. Never
Yeah.
again
Uh-uh.
though.
I'm just
Never.
like, I want to. I was laughing. I'm laughing internally, like a little chuckle to myself. When she was at the house and she realized that was her brother, she said,
Yeah. She was shook.
"Really? I can't have shit."
Nope. Nope.
But you
Ain't
know,
have nothing.
Jamar, this is why I said I've been to Scotland before. Because I've been in that situation where I'm sitting here talking to a guy and he calls this person name, and I'm like, you know him? Yeah, that's my brother.
I'm
Mm,
actually
But in
surprised
my
that
in
murder.
my case, I told him I used to talk to his brother. I ain't keep a secret. I told him right then.
yeah, she wasn't telling that secret, especially when her sister told her, "Girl, you better keep your mouth shut. You out your damn mind." But yeah, she should have told him, but she didn't.
Yeah, like you can might well just go ahead and tell him because in my case, I told him. And all he thought about was, well, did you sleep with him? I said, well, no, because I didn't. I didn't sleep with him.
And
Did you?
if you did,
I said I did
what does
kiss
that
him though.
mean?
I said I did kiss him though. I kissed him down too. I did kiss him before. Well, as long as you ain't sleep with him, I don't care. Oh, okay. So
I mean, really, what can you do?
he said he didn't care, so I ain't gonna stop. So please, you know what
Mm-mm.
I mean. But I have another thing because this is outside of the movie.
Mhm.
Now, when I was first introduced to you, Keisha, and you always laugh every time I'm letting you know this right now. When Housewives of Atlanta come on, I'm using that clip again for my
Yeah, I
opening.
forget about it until you do it every.
But that was the video. That was the first video of yours that I actually saw. So I'm just letting you know that right now. That's when I was first introduced to you. Was that
I need to
particular
start using that in my own damn videos when it comes time.
video? But
Wow.
when I first saw you, it was that particular video. And
Hmm.
as I was like going back, like binge watching your old videos, that's how I found out that you were an author. So it's like, okay, so what made you get into YouTube?
Ooh, child. I have wanted to get into YouTube for so long, but I was just afraid. It was just something holding me back. I don't know what it was. What I equate to it now is it was all about God's timing because I wasn't ready yet. But I also kind of regret it because I was like, I could have been one of the first, on YouTube and really been solidified. But it wasn't until 2013 I had gotten sick back then and I had emergency surgery and everything. And I had a colostomy bag for 6 months. It was a whole thing. And I was, just kind of like down and out a little bit. And my boyfriend at the time, I was telling him, I was like, I want to do a YouTube channel, but I'm scared. He was like, man, fuck that. We're going to get you a camera. And I went to Best Buy, bought a little camera, and my first video was February 13th of 2013. And my first video was a makeup tutorial on MAC Cosmetic Candy Yum Yum lipstick because that was the popular lipstick that year. And originally, Coloring Pink channel was supposed to be makeup tutorials and stuff like that. And like I think when I started, I maybe had about 400 followers, and that's from like my readers and stuff or whatever, people that have been following me on like Facebook or whatever. And like the videos was doing okay, but they weren't really doing what I wanted them to do. And mind you, I'm still going through all my health issues at this time. And I was 4 months into having my colostomy bag. And at this point, I was able to be more mobile and get around and leave the house or whatever. And I didn't want to leave the house because I just didn't feel comfortable. I was scared. Like, what if somebody bump into me or something like that? But when Brandy brought her ass to St. Louis, I was not going to miss her concert. And so me and my best friend Monique, who I do a lot of videos with, we went to go see her at Lumiere Casino, which is right next door to my building. We went to go see her perform, and she's in my top 5 as favorite singers. And Beatface Honey, Beatface Honey, who was her makeup artist at the time, and who's a big YouTuber, makeup YouTuber, was doing her makeup. They both, she was there. I took a picture with her, and I came home. I didn't even take off my jacket. I literally turned on my camera, sat in front of my camera, and just did a whole video about the concert experience, and was just, going crazy. Put that shit up. That was a Saturday night or something like that. By Monday, it had gone viral. And my Twitter had went stupid crazy. Amber Riley had watched it. Ginger Spice had watched it. Perez Hilton had watched it. Brandy had watched it. All these people, articles and stuff was written up. I was like, what the fuck was going on? And so Brandy had called me, and I missed the phone call. And so she left me a voicemail message, and I played the voicemail message on the video. And then she actually ended up calling me back, and we ended up being able to speak or whatever. And I thought that was just enough. And then Perez Hilton and his camp reached out to me and was like, do you want to fly down to do correspondence for the MTV Movie Awards? And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, come on, colostomy bag. We are out of here. So I was like, fuck yeah. So I flew out that Friday, that Saturday, and I had to scramble, get my hair done, find out what I was gonna wear. And I went there, y'all, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I was on the red carpet, and I'll never forget, I was in between these 2 white girls from I don't know what magazine or whatever, but I'm interviewing celebrities or whatever, and I'm kikiing, making them laugh and stuff. And one of the girls was British. She was like, have you been doing this? How long have you been doing this? And I was like, this is my first time. She was like, oh my God, I can't even focus on what I'm doing because I'm too busy listening to you. So I had so much fun. And then after that, I wanted to go back to the hotel because mind you, I need to empty the bag. Sorry, but gotta keep it real. I had started getting a cold, and I wanted to go back to the hotel and just lay down and rest because I had been up that morning. But they was like, Perez wants to meet you. So I went to his house, y'all, and his house was amazing. Like, one thing that I regret is that I didn't take pictures, but I didn't want to take pictures because I didn't know if he had cameras and shit around. So I didn't want to be ghetto. But I remember I went to his bathroom to use the bathroom. It was the bathroom right off the foyer. And I was in the bathroom, and he had all these pictures of Lady Gaga and him and Madonna and him and this person. And I'm just like, I'm in Perez Hilton bathroom. And I was like, oh my God. And then I went and sat on his couch. He scared the shit out of me. He jumped from behind the fucking couch. I didn't even know I was being filmed the whole time. Glad I listened to my first mind because the camera was fucking on and they was filming me the whole damn time. And we did an interview and we set up and watched the awards. This nigga had a fucking life-size horse statue in his fucking living room. Candelabras and shit on the goddamn walls. Pool outside. I'm like, God damn. It just really wanted to make me level the fuck up. And I met his baby. That was when he had his first baby at that point. And after that, that's what started All Tea All Shade. That's what took my channel off and I found my niche, and that was being an asshole and talking about folks. That's how it all began.
And that's really how, like, a lot of people will come to us as YouTubers and be like, I want to start my own channel. I don't know
Yep.
what to do. I don't know what to talk about. And I'm just like, none of us know what we talk. Like, if you look at any popular content creators' first sets of videos on their channel, it don't
Ooh,
look it
A
like the
mess.
videos that
ooh,
they do now.
Yes.
ooh.
So it's just like you figure it out as you
Yes.
go.
I
Yes.
cringed oh, looking at my old videos, baby. I cringed at them first 2 years. Oh my God, I cringe. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh,
And I'm still
So
figuring things out. I'm still playing around. Especially like the last 2 weeks, I'm trying to, figure out, okay, is this working? Is that not working? So I'm trying to revamp my channel and do some different things. But yeah, I tell people all the time, you got to play around and see what works, see what's getting you the views, see what's getting you that CPM, RPM ad rates and stuff like that. Like you got to really get out there and play around until you figure out what is the thing that makes your channel pop. Because it's so many of
exactly.
us that do this, especially
You,
Black creators that talk about reality and television shows. So you just gotta, in this arena, really figure out what can set you apart from doing just reviews, you know.
I learned my
mhm.
lesson with that about a year and a half ago because that's all I was really doing was reviews. But then when
Mm-hmm.
COVID had started and all those reality shows were shutting down, I was like, okay, so what am I gonna do? Because that's all I
Mm-hmm.
do is reviews. So what am I gonna do? I may do a gossip video here and there, but I'm
Yep.
mainly doing reality. So what am I gonna do? Then I
Mm-hmm.
tapped into the whole gossip thing and talking about what's in the blogs, and that helped me a whole lot. So there's something else for me to do. Then I started
Yep.
doing panel discussions. That's something
Yep.
else that helps drive the views and all that stuff. I'm always coming up with different ideas. But one thing I will say is that when you have an idea, please do that idea because you never know how it's gonna turn out.
Yep.
Because like me and Jamar been I you started in 2013 or
I
12.
started really, I think me and her started really the same time because I put the first video of me in the style that I do it now was when Bad Girls Club season 10 was out. It was like the third or fourth episode. It was February of 2013.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was that same month. And yeah, that's when I started. Bad Girls Club was my initial start, and that was just woo.
That's how like I started October 2010. So it was like I was using that little Kodak digital camera with the bad sound. I was using that. And then um it's certain reality shows, like as reviewers, it's certain reality shows that people look to you to do. Like
yeah.
back then, my niche was love and hip hop and basketball wives. And then, they'll watch
Mm-hmm.
my Housewives of Atlanta reviews, but they watch love and hip hop and
Love and
basketball.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it
Yep.
wasn't love and hip hop and basketball wives back then, it was Bad Girls Club. That's how me and him met each other and became best friends because we
Oh,
were both
okay.
doing
Cool.
it. Yeah, that's how we met. We met doing this. That's how we met, and we've been friends ever since. Now,
So
It was
we're
cool.
it was a combination because I don't remember what season it was of Bad Girls Club, but when it was a combination of Bad Girls Club and the first season of Love and Hip Hop that I think either Kevin or Ashley had talked about you or said something about you, and I started
uh-huh.
watching. And I think you had commented on my stuff. So I was like, oh, let me go start watching his stuff, and then we just went from there.
That's so
Yeah, we
dope.
were friends for like 3 years, and then we met each other finally in person, like maybe about 3 years later, because I think we started being friends in
Yeah,
like
something like
2013.
that.
I was coming to Houston for a K Michelle concert because I love K Michelle. So I'm coming
Mm-hmm.
to the K Michelle concert, and I told him, I texted him, I said, I'm coming to the concert. He said, oh, I'm gonna buy my ticket too. So we hung out that whole weekend, and it was just like we had been hanging out for years, but that was our first time really hanging out and meeting each other in person. But we had been talking for 3 years, but we
Mm-hmm.
had just started hanging out. And I think with us meeting each other that particular year, it brought us even closer. And then I came back to Houston again the very next year with some friends and we hung out again. And then I think that was probably the last time up until
The
that
last
was
last October.
yeah, until about no 2020 when you came to Atlanta. and I was coming at the same time. I think that was our first time seeing each other in a couple of years. When you came for your birthday, we went to that damn reunion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had not seen each other in years, but we had been talking. We still had
Uh,
been very close, but we hadn't seen each other in years. And then we hung out in Atlanta, and then he moved to Atlanta. So now that he's in Atlanta, I'm in Mississippi. I can fly whenever I feel like it to see him now.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm about to move to Atlanta soon.
Oh,
So,
congrats.
so we're really going to be around each other a lot. And plus, we do this show together. We do another panel together. We do a lot of stuff together now. So
Mhm.
it's it's a friendship, but we also do business together. But it's good to do business with a person that is your best friend. So that's
Exactly. Oh, woo woo. I love that.
so
but
yeah.
it's
So
so great to see like our peer because she came up with us doing the same thing that we doing as far as the YouTube and venturing out to do different things. And I mean, I'm just gonna tell you now, girl, I done got my big toe into acting now. So if you need another actor, let me know.
Okay, I will keep you in
Um,
mind. I will keep, and you in Detroit. You in Detroit?
well,
Or
I'm in
you?
he's
Atlanta
from
now, but
Detroit.
I'm
Oh,
from
you're from
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay, okay, but that's even better. I'll keep you in mind.
'Cause I'll
Yes,
go
I
back
Yes,
there.
will.
ma'am.
I got a brother that live up there. I got some cousins, so if I got somewhere to stay if I need to.
Yes, I will keep you in mind. Yes,
And
I
I'm not
will.
just and I'm not just saying this because I'm his friend now. I went to his movie premiere back in October,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, okay, all right, friend. But then when I seen that one of them last things when he was playing, it turned out that he was the killer. I'm like, I was sitting right next to him, and I looked at him and said, "You think you know somebody?"
'Cause everyone just asks me like, "How do you feel about the film? Like, what is it like? Who are you?" I'm just like,
What's the name of the movie so I can watch it?
it's on YouTube. It's called The Assistant 2.
Uh-huh.
I'm in the sequel. So I
Okay.
always have to tell people you have to watch the first one. They're both
Okay.
roughly about an hour and a half, about the same length as Paper Heart.
Okay.
Um, and you have to watch the first one because my character won't make as much sense, or you won't have as much context unless you watch the first one and I'm in the second
Okay. I sure
one. Really,
will.
really good.
I
I
Really,
sure
was
really
will.
good.
like,
I was,
like, wait a minute, like you okay? That's all I can say. That is all I can say when I saw that. So
And
it was just
Scotty,
like
I saw you on is it the Chasing Reality show where they showed like a clip where I was like,
that was
come
us
on.
too. It
Yeah, I
was
was
us.
like, come on. I was
right
like,
here, dude.
yes,
Right
yes.
here.
Just got into watching the Chasing reality shows last year. And now I'm hooked. I just saw the trailer for this upcoming season. I know you do reviews and stuff. So I can't wait to watch your reviews and everything because I love that particular cast.
Jamar, should you tell her?
What? Oh, what? What? You on the show?
No, but yes. I was like, no, but yes. So what had happened was over the course of like the between season 4 and 5, I got to really, really close with like a lot of cast members, and
Mhm.
then because of my reviews and the content that we did, I got the attention of their producer, and so one of my good friends now, Rico with the K, I
Mhm.
went and I surprised him in one of his performances in Houston, like last August, I believe. And I filmed his performance, and then he was telling Andario about it, and he was like, "Let me see the footage," and I sent it to him. He was like, "Can you help me film X, Y, and Z?"
Oh, that's
so,
amazing.
Right.
so there were a lot of instances, a lot of stuff that from that trailer that is actually filmed on this phone that I'm filming on right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So
Congratulations.
Oh,
man,
and he was
he gave
in
me a
that.
producer
He was in
credit.
that trailer. He was in that trailer twice too,
Oh,
because
now I
you
gotta
could.
go back and watch.
Yeah, he was in that trailer twice
Baby.
because you could see him running. He was a guy with some dreads with a hat on running. I knew that was
Okay.
him. 'Cause
Oh,
I
they
knew
had
what
the
he
hat
did.
on that day. That
You
night
didn't
they
have
had
on
the
the
hat
hat?
on.
Okay.
Not we running with my drink. That looks so ghetto.
Okay. He had
I
a
took a
drink in his
screenshot.
hand. Yeah, he had a drink in his
I'm like,
hand and he was.
Dario.
And then there's another scene where he was sitting in the scene with Rico with a K at a meeting or
Uh-huh.
something like that. And I'm like, oh,
Right, right. Which I was not
like,
supposed to be in, but they put me in it anyway. So I'm just like, well, here I am. I I kind of don't want to look. I kind of don't want to look at that because I remember that was the first time I was ever on camera with them, and I'm like, because they had did the whole setup, and then and Dario is over here, and Dario's literally putting the camera directly at me, like my angle was him, and the other one's getting Rico, and then the wide shot. I'm like, and they're like, all right, in action. I'm like, this is like one of your favorite shows, and you just in it now all of a sudden, and I wasn't prepared to be at that time either. So I'm just like,
But it put you in a good position, though. It put you in a good
Yeah.
oh
position.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah.
now there's a lot of stuff.
Wow.
So, is there like any like? Because I know besides me, I know you like Bundy. Is there like who are some of your favorite YouTubers you were watching before you started?
Before I started, well, back then it was mainly like makeup tutorials. It wasn't really a big audience for this outside of like Funky
Yeah,
Dineva. I watched his stuff. Back then it was like I said, Beat Face Honey, Nicole Guerrero, um, Makeup Shayla, Desi Perkins, Lux Deluxe. It was all a bunch of makeup gurus at the time.
Okay.
But
So what
currently,
about
right
yeah?
now,
What about now? Yeah.
right now, I'm loving Our Crazy Family. That's with Cheyenne and them, Cheyenne and her family from Team Mom OG. I love her
Uh-huh.
YouTube channel. I love this fashion channel called um Scout shit. Hold on. I don't want to lie. Scout the City. Scout the City. She has an amazing fashion channel. I watch you. I watch Ty Said What Ty Said.
Love her.
Um, Let me see. Because I want to shout out these people. I watch Aaliyah J, Nita Danielle, LaGuardia Cross, Zach Campbell, Murad Morali, um, Goddamn Zoe, the comedian Jasmine. She does a lot of Ready to Love reviews. This style channel about this girl named Bronny. A lot of stuff like that. DMTV. I used to watch Keisha Anderson. Y'all heard of her?
I don't think
Mm-mm.
I haven't watched like a lot of like bloggers in a while.
Yeah, but yeah, I learned a lot of stuff about her, so I had to stop supporting her.
Ooh,
But yeah, I watch a
ooh,
lot of those channels, Wild Presents, all of that stuff. Did
oh
y'all
yeah.
know
So
there was
watching Drag
another?
Race.
I love Drag Race, but now it's kind of coming overwhelming because it's so many fucking shows, especially I got
Yeah.
the Wild Presents app, so I watch all of them.
That's his stuff
Mhm.
right there. That's his stuff.
I just watched the UK versus the Universe.
Mhm.
Child, I was like, God damn it, all these goddamn spinoffs.
But
They were
they trying to milk it. I can't blame them, but I'm just like, damn, y'all really gonna get this coin? Y'all gonna milk this cow, bitch?
Yeah, I almost wish I didn't have the app because I would just be watching the US one. But I love all the other countries so much. But yeah,
Child. Well, I think one of the things that you can definitely attest to as a content creator and those who way aspire to do any of the things that y'all see some of us do is you have to invest in yourself, invest in
mm,
your products. Because
mm,
now look, I done got one of these. I'm trying to get invest in yourself, bitch.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Invest
yes,
in your
yes,
motherfucking
yes,
self
yes, yes, yes.
whenever you can. Because look, we had
Mm-hmm.
to do a whole fundraiser for this laptop over here. We got
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We
so
did.
it's a
Yep.
journey, consistency, and just because a lot of people get on there, they'll do their videos and they only be like, "Oh, I only have like 10 views," or even like for y'all that doing the writers, like, "Oh, nobody's really buying my book, and no one's really
Mm,
reading." Keep writing,
yeah.
keep
Yeah, that's the
writing.
best
Consistency
advice.
and promote.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the best. That's the best advice to give because I know when I first started on YouTube, I'm just like, ain't nobody finna watch this shit. But at the same time, when I first got my first 10 subscribers, you thought I had 100. I was happy about them 10 subscribers, okay? Like you can tell me
Yes,
shit. I had
sir.
10 And then I looked up, I had 100, and I looked up, I had 300, and then my first 1,000. You really couldn't tell me nothing then. I'm like, yes. But then
Yeah.
what really made it even better was when I got co-signs from people that I watched, like the Scorpion Show and Ashley Miller and Bundy Blue and people like that. And then I've worked with these people later on down the line, so it's good, especially in this realm. And when I genuinely like a person, like when I'm watching people and coming across them, if I like your content, I'm definitely gonna shout you out every time. Just like
Mhm.
I did when I first saw your channel. I'm like, oh, bitch, I gotta listen, okay? Cause we
Uh-uh.
have the same thought process on a lot of stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like, like, oh yeah, I definitely gotta subscribe. So it's been
Mhm.
up ever since. So just like you said, when you first started, like your videos wasn't doing the numbers that you may have wanted it to, but it
Mm-mm.
was at the beginning. So the
Yeah.
more you keep going, the more because like I said, I've been doing this for over 10 years, really, and
Me
I'm
too.
just I'm just now starting to really grow,
And
like
it's sad
grow.
that it's like that for Black content creators because the white kids can get out there and pop 40,000 subscribers so quickly. And I hate that about this whole industry because it's like we have to work 10 times harder than others,
Mhm.
but at least we know that it's homegrown and it's actual people that fuck with us and love us. So that's
It's
the
that
good thing that
algorithm.
comes out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Your own
Yeah,
subscribers don't even know you put shit out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that is irritating too, because it's like I don't never. They be like somebody DM me saying, "Why did I just get a notification from a video that you did 5 days ago?" I'm like, "What?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that often. Like I ain't getting no notification or YouTube unfollowed you and I didn't even know they unfollowed you. I was wondering where your videos was and child. Mm-mm.
It's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
however, because I said I wasn't going, I said we wasn't going to take up all your time, and we wasn't expecting this to go into an hour, but it did.
Yeah.
No,
I
we
enjoyed it.
always do.
this was a good conversation. So,
It was.
Jamar, how about you ask her what you normally ask everybody when we come to the end of our conversation?
Okay, so towards the end of all of our interviews, we always like to ask the guests, like, did you have a good time? Do you feel like me and Scotty did our jobs as the host of the show? Like, give us your feedback.
Y'all did an amazing job. First of all, I love the fact that y'all are besties because I feel with my bestie. So I love that aspect. And it was you guys are engaging. You made me laugh. You listened. You didn't cut people off, which is good. Uh I loved it. I enjoyed myself, and I actually want to come back if y'all do chasing reality reviews. I want to come back and kiki with y'all and talk because I've never done reviews on that show. So I would love to come over here and talk with y'all about it.
I'm ready.
Baby,
I'm ready. Okay.
I I am I will be as transparent right now with this. I am afraid to review this season. I have anxiety out the ass about this season coming out because all the drama that's in it, I've lived through it
Mm.
and saw it firsthand, and it's a part of my daily conversation sometimes. And I'm
Oh,
like, I'm gonna have to see it
and
play out
relive
in
it.
front of the public who's gonna give all this commentary on it. And guess what happens? They give all the commentary on these people, and guess who they're gonna call? Guess who's
You.
gonna have to talk about it? And then
Child.
we have to interview them just like we're interviewing you. They have to be right there in the seat and talk about it again.
Again.
And I
Oh, wow.
and I'm just like, I mean, it's going to be great. The
Yeah.
content is going to be amazing. But I'm just like, I feel like I don't I'm scared. I'm scared because
You've been
I
feeling like
got
talking.
it's so
one
close.
question. I know you can't really answer, but do they have valid reasons to be going against? I can't think of his name right now. The chocolate boy that came back to the show and everybody on him. Talking about some you came back to the
Troy.
show. Yeah, is that his
Well,
name? No,
Troy or
not Troy.
Wayne. Wayne.
No.
Wayne the Pain.
He skinny
Cameron.
Cameron, yeah. Do they have a reason to feel? Because I'm like, reaction tells me everything.
You
Oh my
know,
god.
I'm very happy with how Cameron is involved in the season.
Okay.
In comparison to season 4, he was kind of like a spectator in his own season to us, and that's why people were surprised. Like, why is Cameron there? You'll see why Cameron is there. Why is Wayne there? You'll see why Wayne. You don't even have to. You don't have to look too far as to why Wayne is there. If you look on Instagram, it's really right there. Maybe if they haven't deleted it, it's really all right there.
I
Oh
must have
wow.
missed it.
Now I gotta do
Because
some research.
I think remember when we was up there with Ed Dario on TTV, and somebody in the
Oh.
comments was asking like, "Well, why is Wayne the paid there?" She's like, "You." And Ed Dario was like, "You'll see why Wayne is there."
How many fights is there gonna be?
Huh?
How many fights? Is it more
Look,
than 3?
you trying to. I just built a relationship with Ed Dario. You trying to get me sued? Get me
Okay, so it's
sued.
it's gonna be enough.
We'll talk backstage.
Okay, okay. I'm
All right,
excited.
kid. Well, thank you once again, Keisha, for coming up. I'm glad to finally
Thank
have
you.
you up here. And like me and Jamar said, when if you want to come up here again to talk about chasing Atlanta, we are
Yes,
ready
I
and we are
do.
down for it. Yes,
We'll
indeed,
Yes,
we
we'll
are.
have
I
an
do.
episode. We may have to
Yes.
do just like a premiere thing or just like casual whatever.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I want to come on the day they fight. The first. That's what I want to review.
I don't know. You may not see me that day because I.
It was the one in the trailer when they was at the. They always in the parking lot, child. But they was in the parking lot. It looked like that fight gonna be good.
Mm.
And I want to come on that episode.
Girl, in
Ooh.
this episode, so we can go backstage.
Okay. Well, once again, Kissy, thank you for coming up. We
Thank you
definitely
for
appreciate
having
it. I had
me.
a great time. I had a great time with you up here, and that's about it, you guys. So thank you
Thank
all for
you.
watching, and we're out of here. Peace
Bye.
out.